Do you guys ever try to forget really hard that something existed because it was just so traumatic to you? Like one time I got in a car crash and that kind of sucked, but one time I watched Sausage Party as well and it kind of brought me back to that feeling. In fact, I don't think there's anyone out there who really liked the original Sausage Party film. It's not like you're gonna see someone stating that Sausage Party was this submersive masterpiece, because at the end of the day, the movie is nothing more than an hour and a half of Seth Rogen making crude jokes about food.
Sausage, control your insolent bun and cover her up already. Show some modesty, woman.
So here's the crazy thing. That movie came out in 2016 and it's currently 2024, so why are we making a sequel to this movie 8 years later? I guess you could say the same thing about Incredibles 1 and 2. They were separated by 14 years, but here's the thing. People actually cared about The Incredibles. One of the most interesting aspects is that Sausage Party 2 isn't even a movie, it's going to be a miniseries. So the trailer for Sausage Party is kind of like amazing in a way, because I don't think I've seen anything more unappealing in my life. For a majority of the trailer, we see pieces of food like doing stuff to each other, you know what I mean?
We started a revolution and made this happen.
And Seth Rogen's hot dog character suggests this is like a Zootopia and it's like awesome. By the way, I'm Larry, I'm Epic. Like, comment, and subscribe if you think the show sucks. Back to the video. So the plot of the show is this. Although the food was able to revolutionize and free itself from control of the supermarkets, the new nation of Foodtopia is still experiencing troubles when it comes to trying to understand their surroundings. This leads to them trying to control humans to do their bidding, and some of the worst jokes known to man.
I'm plugged in.
What are you doing?
There's a hot dog up my ass. Oh, and it's controlling me. No, don't hurt me.
I'll do whatever you want.
Okay, wait, could we talk about the animation for a second? This gives me a lot of Megamind 2 vibes. Yeah, that movie I talked about a couple months ago where the animation is like flickering in and out. It looks like it was a fan-made project rather than an official release. It's crazy because the first Sausage Party wasn't exactly incredibly animated as well, but it was like passable. I'm not arguing that the animation being great would have like saved this, because nothing really would have saved itself from that ending scene of the movie where each food partakes in and I can't even say the word because of YouTube demonetization, but let's just say they throw a big physical party. I wouldn't blame you if you never got to that scene, if you like say walked out of the theater beforehand, because that scene at the end of the movie is like truly horrible. You want to know something even more horrible? The promotion for this movie. So I was in New York City around a month ago and I saw this giant hot dog. I found it kind of funny. I was like, why is this giant hot dog over here? Well, there was a reason for that. And it unfortunately had to deal with Sausage Party. A bunch of people dressed up as hot dogs went to Times Square the other day and counted down the premiere of this trailer. You may be wondering, how is it possible that there's this many fans of hot dogs? Well, TV executives paid for them to be there. Honestly, I kind of respect the grind.
Sausage Party! Sausage Party!
Dude, they're hype. This person here stated, since I was around today, I caught the 65-foot long hot dog sculpture in Times Square. It really does blast confetti every day at noon. How amazing. I know this is a mini-series, but this kind of paints a bigger picture when it comes to adult animation. A lot of the humor that derives in the Sausage Party movie, and I assume in the show, is the use of the F-word. Kind of reminds me of another adult animation property, although I will admit that property is probably infinitely better. Like, oh my god guys, look, we're a cartoon, but we could swear and say words that normal kid cartoons can't.
Where's the entry point? Hot dog. Clever girl.
Like, oh my god guys, look, it's me, Seth Rogen. I could talk about doing drugs. And I'm an animated hot dog? Okay, I'm kinda back. As animation becomes more prevalent in today's society, we're more likely to see more adult-oriented TV shows. The part that's cool is that it shows that animation isn't just for kids. Animation is and should be an accessible media to all, especially if it's adult-oriented. There's less of a confinement to be restricted to things kids could only be able to watch. Without adult animation, we wouldn't be able to get hits like Smiling Friends. The show hits you at various directions, many of which you do not expect. Not in a way that tries too hard to be funny, with shock humor. Like, some of my favorite gags from the show is when they just have like a real talk, like an actual real conversation in the middle of the episode. It's awesome.
Dude, if you do that again, I'm gonna punch you. I'm not kidding.
My problem when it comes to some of these adult-oriented shows is a reliance of shock and just swearing for the sake of swearing, even though it's not really funny. I mean, I'm not offended by swearing by any means. I mean, god damn it, I think swearing can be funny. An example of something that's done well is Smiling Friends. Sure, it can be a darker comedy, but its humor doesn't rely on trying to shock the audience, rather the situations the characters find themselves in.
The biggest surprises are behind me.
It's the characters that make the show funny, not the use of the F word. Sausage Party never worked. It was just pure slop the entire time. I mean, I guess for its time, it was the first major animated film to be directly targeted towards adults, even though most of the humor is that only middle schoolers would like. Oh my god, look, the food is smoking! That's crazy, guys. Thank you, dear lord, for Seth Rogen. I'm glad he was able to create this, and also most recently, create a giant bong for one of his shows. Like, we get it, dude. We get it. Why don't you go back to tweeting to Casey Neistat how it's perfectly okay if your car gets robbed? Like, what the hell? Seth Rogen, what are we smoking here? Oh. Wait, it really sucks because when you look at adult animated movies that have released in America, they're very sparse and very, very rare. I mean, we do have 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler, which came out like 20 years ago. Personally, I think that movie is pretty sick, but everyone else I watched that with thinks it's the worst thing ever made.
How many hot dogs did you eat?
I think it was 35!
I mean, it does suck that that movie basically bankrupted the animation studio that made the Iron Giant, but at least we did see Adam Sandler with a six-pack. I guess if I could say one nice thing about Sausage Party is I guess the Saving Private Ryan parody scene is kinda cool, like animation-wise, even though the joke was done by Conker's Bad Fur Day a long time ago. You know what isn't cool about the movie, however, is that apparently the Sausage Party animators were pressured to work overtime, unpaid overtime at that, just so they could deliver the hot dog making one of the most unfunniest jokes of all time. This does suck, I feel for the animators. And even worse, according to the article, if they complained about the unpaid overtime, they would have been left uncredited from the film and also blacklisted from the movie industry. Unfortunately, to be fair, this isn't something that's exclusive to Sausage Party. Some fantastic films like Spider-Verse have also dealt with controversies like this as well. With that being said, it is crazy to think that the top comment for the trailer for the show states, "I tried so hard to forget this exists." And to make it even worse, the reply to this comment is, "You cannot escape it." Judging from the posters for the show, is that they're going to be touring around the real world, as if it's like Vietnam apparently, because that's the joke. Dude, I've seen more creativity when it comes to adult animation with the former online show Dick Figures. And maybe I have some bias to it, because that entire show is the encapsulation of the early 2010s, but at least every now and then it still has like an okay joke, I guess. Oh well, I guess the Sausage Party show is not like the other show by Ben Shapiro known as Mr. Berkman. That is actually truly terrible. I've been Zeep, like, comment, subscribe, I'll see you next time.